I made a new friend at the gym. We were in the locker room and started talking about gym stuff, typical supplements, workout routines, that type of thing. But then we started talking about life. And that's usually how a lot of gym conversations go anyway, is you start talking about like small stuff and then it sort of bleeds into like bigger things, bigger issues. And so I found out that like currently my man doesn't really have a place to stay. Like he's living in a van, like it's parked on the side of the road. The van doesn't even run. He's just using it as shelter. And he's not complaining. He's just telling me about his life experience. And then he's letting me know that he got a job at this local like mom and pop donut store where he's making the donuts, selling the donuts, just kind of being like a utility man, doing everything that needs being done. What's interesting though is most people like that, and I include myself in that too because I've been homeless a time or two, nobody is gonna save up money to try to afford to go and rent a place. It's ridiculous to do all of this saving of the money and then to just have to drop first month's rent, last month's rent at the same time. You're having to come off several thousands of dollars. And if you're like me, you're thinking about what you could do with those, couple $1,000 as opposed to just giving it to somebody so you can have a place to stay. So for people like him and people like me, living in a car is not the worst thing in the world. But I ran into him again just the other day, last week, and he's really excited and he's showing me he had saved up $2,500 in cash. And what he did was he started his own drop shipping company. And he's showing me like his brand logo, and he's got a website, and he's even got it like configured SEO friendly, search engine optimized, so that when people, they type in coffee or whatever his keywords are, his website is the one that's going to be more than likely recognized by Google, as one of their top websites or the rankings. Or I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I think you get what I'm saying. But what he did was he used Fiverr, and he used Fiverr to help design his website, and they're also doing the search engine optimization for him. But he's so excited, man. I was so excited for him, and I thought, man, what a smart decision to make, because obviously his living condition is not ideal, but he's used to it. And if he can maintain, that mindset that even though he doesn't have what most people consider a typical home, he's still got a place to live. He's still somewhat safe. He's still eating and drinking every day. I mean, obviously I met him at the gym, so things can't be going too bad if you can afford, I don't know, 40 or 50 bucks a month for a gym membership. But when I really started thinking about it, I'm like, man, what an awesome testament to just personal development in general, to be homeless and to literally still want to better yourself, to realize that it's not over until you decide it's over. This is like the most motivated I've ever been in a long time, just from talking to this guy, because he was so excited. He found a purpose. He was able to develop his identity enough that he knows that there's more to life than just working a job. And so instead of going, getting drunk or getting high or whatever and trying to pass the time that way, to save up $2,500 while you're literally living in a van with someone else. It's not like he's living in the van by himself. He's literally in there with other people. And that is crazy to me. It's just insane. And I see him on public transport all the time. He's taking the train or the bus to work. They're walking to the gym after he gets off work. These are not ideal circumstances. And for me to even entertain a thought that even resembles a complaint, man, such a wake-up call. And for me, I was thinking about it the other day, and gratitude, the act of expressing thankfulness. There's so much that we can learn and be thankful for. And what it does is it grounds us. we realize that the world is a lot bigger place than our problems. And once we come into a true realization of that, then our problems and our situations and everything that we're going through become a lot less important, severe, or our problems are less magnified when we put our own selves in perspective with people that are less fortunate than us. I mean, my goodness. Think about all of the opportunities that we don't even consider opportunities because we're so wrapped up like in our own world. We can't see the forest for the trees. I know that's an old saying and you can apply it many different ways, but it's so true when it concerns things like this. This guy, he's a transplant, not from here, not even sure how he got here, what his circumstances are. But I mean, he hadn't had a place to stay since he's been here. And my goodness, such inspiration for me, not only in the gym, but just for life in general. Somebody said on one of my videos not long ago that just to hang it up, that it was over, that I was washed up. I was like, man, you know what? You kind of got a point. I am kind of washed up. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I'm midlife, still grinding, trying to better myself. And from a young man's perspective, they see a guy that's 20 years older than them and he's not where they think he should be. And I'm talking about myself. I mean, it's really natural for them to say, oh man, you're washed up, it's over. I mean, I probably said the same thing about people when I was their age as well. But now that I'm actually here, the thing that I just can't wrap my mind around is the concept of time. It just keeps coming. It keeps coming and coming and coming, and there's nothing we can do about it other than to seize the moment. All the stuff from our past, whether or not we failed, whether or not we didn't even try anything, it doesn't really matter because all we have is our present moment right now. And if we can take that moment and realize how important it is, then what we're going to do is we're going to invest more heavily into ourselves, into our personal development process, because we know we only have this and a potential moment that comes after this. And these moments that come after this, I'd really like for those moments to be better than this one. But they can't be any better until I make a decision that I need to be better. And being better has everything to do with understanding time and how important it is that we recognize and hold ourselves accountable for the life that we're living. It doesn't matter if you're young or old or in between midlife like me. The time is happening no matter what. It's just a fact. It's physics, metaphysics, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't change the reality of the situation. And we're leaving so much of this time on the table where we could be doing more and more and more. And I'm not talking about getting up and working, some 18-hour day. That's ridiculous. I'm talking about maximizing the time that we do have. With my morning routine videos that I do, I'm not trying to wake up super early. I'm trying to wake up about the same time that I usually do. I'm just cutting out about an hour of sitting on the couch, sitting in my chair, drinking my coffee, just negative self-talk, being angry at the world because I am not a morning person. And it takes so much energy for me to just come up and to be alert on just a decent level. So I can't even exchange pleasantries with people in the morning. Hey, good morning, how you doing? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Argh. But good mornings really are earned. And if you want a good morning to turn into a great morning, you got to have a process that you're going through. And the process that I'm going through is just waking up and getting myself in alignment with my thoughts, my words, and my actions. And in my head, I've got all of these grandiose ideas of things that I want to do. And I think a lot of us fall trapped to that because we watch these routines. That Ashton Hall routine where he's waking up at 2:30 in the morning and he's running around rubbing banana peels on his face. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I mean, nobody's going to do that. It's not serious. It's not feasible for me or you to do something like that. But what is feasible is for us to get up in the morning and to start a process that's going to align all of our thoughts, all of our words, all of our actions into one. So just thinking about waking up in the morning is not enough. Telling people that I want to be a morning person is not enough. Now you could say it might start with thoughts and words, but eventually none of this is true. These thoughts, these words, they mean nothing unless there's an action behind the thoughts and the words. And that's what I'm learning now, that you don't know anything, or what you think you know, you really don't know if there's not an action that reflects those thoughts or words. You're just full of shit. That's all there is to it. And I hate to say it like that, but I really don't, because I've got to talk to myself this way. Now, I used to have this bad problem, I don't even know if it's a problem, but pointing my finger. And I justify it, and I still do, because every time I point my finger, I'm pointing 3 more back at me. So all the videos that I make, all of my rants or whatever, it's really just this internal dialogue that I've got going 24/7. And what I'm doing is I'm choosing to clue you guys in, to bring you in to my internal dialogue, include you in with the things that I'm learning, especially like these morning routines and this whole idea of seizing the day, maximizing the time that we have. That's a process that I'm learning. One of the things that I feel like I'm more of not necessarily an expert, but training in the gym and specifically nutrition, I've got nailed down. I've got over 20 years of experience. I've been a personal trainer. I've been an armchair nutritionist. Those things are passionate to me, and I can speak about them from a place of authority. The other thing I can do too is I can recognize how I became an expert in those 2 areas and apply that same plan to the rest of my life. And hopefully, it's kind of like being a video game character. When you're designing your own video game character, you've got a certain amount of points, right? And you've got all of these character attributes. You've got strength, power, speed, agility, I don't know what else, teamwork. But you can't max out the character's attributes on every single one, or you wouldn't have any points left. You don't have enough points to build that character up. If you give them 70 points on power, then their speed's not going to have as much. If you give them too much speed, they're not going to have enough power. But what I want to do with my life is I want to max out every category. I want it to be full. I want to be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, the richest, all of that. Just max it completely out. And the only way to do that is to recognize your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, and to make them no longer your weaknesses. You can also double down on your strengths. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to just stop being good at it or stop learning about it. I mean, I'm really good with training and nutrition, but I don't stop. I still consume tons of social media content about that. I read books about that. I'm constantly learning. Another thing that I see, and I see it more now that I'm aware of it than I did when I was younger, but even when I was younger, I could see that there was issues with this too. It's these people that are in the gym that are older, like in their late 40s, 50s, or even 60s, and they are just jacked. I mean, yoked. Something you'd see in a magazine. The problem is when they walk out of the gym, they end up getting into a hoopty. Some old car that's beat down, or either they have to go to, a 9-to-5 job. And please believe me, I'm not hating on this at all, because I'm not even fortunate enough right now to have those things. But where I'm getting at is if they could learn to apply that success philosophy of the gym to other aspects of their life, then they would be jacked financially. They'd be jacked, in what other areas they wanted to be. So that gym mentality, progressive overload, wanting to do more and more, consistency, dedication, if we compartmentalize that into our gym life, then the rest of our life's going to suffer. And it sucks because we've hit on a winning formula. We just need to learn how to take that winning formula and apply it to other areas of our life. So at age, I'm almost 42 now, I'm still learning. I'm still teaching myself that I've got to have a plan, a blueprint, something that I do every single day. Small steps, daily habits that are non-negotiable. And you've got to find pride in this process more so than the end result. And that's what I'm learning now, is just through consistency, through dedication, through the daily application of a blueprint, I'm becoming a better person. And I know at some point, not today, probably not tomorrow, probably not even next year, but if I keep putting the reps in, the universe is going to have absolutely no chance to do anything but respond to the work that I've put in.